This is Peter Gabriel at the BBC. Radio 2.
Now, Peter's first solo single and his first hit was Solsbury Hill in 1977, taken from his eponymously titled first album, which was out the same year. I asked him about recording what would become that classic track.
As an ex-failed drummer, it's still rhythm that hooks me into lots of tracks. And even though it's a folky thing, it's still got a nice rhythm to it, and some beautiful acoustic playing from Steve Hunter. And that was the sort of attractive track from the first record that actually got me on the radio. And at that time I was very conscious of avoiding the sort of Genesis area of music with which I'd been associated, because I didn't want to do sort of son-off.
Climbing up on Solsbury Hill, I could see the city light. Wind was blowing, time stood still. Eagle flew out of the night. He was something to observe. Came in close, I heard a voice, standing, stretching every nerve. I had to listen, had no choice. I did not believe the information, just had to trust imagination. My heart going boom, boom, boom. Son, he said, grab your things, I've come to take you home. To keep in silence, I resigned. My friends would think I was a nut, turning water into wine. Open doors would soon be shut. So I went from day to day, though my life was in a rut, till I thought of what I'd say, which connection I should cut. I was feeling part of the scenery. I walked right out of the machinery. My heart going boom, boom, boom. Hey, he said, grab your things, I've come to take you home. Hey, back home. When illusions spin a net, I'm never where I wanna be. And liberty she pirouette when I think that I am free. Watch my empty silhouette, who close their eyes but still can see. No one taught them etiquette. I will show another me. Today I don't need a replacement. I'll tell them what the smile on my face meant. My heart going boom, boom, boom. Hey, I said, you can keep my things, they've come to take me home.
Just going back to the split with Genesis, Peter, you'd had a very long association with the band. Was it a painful decision to make to leave them?
It was difficult in a sense of timing, and also telling the others. They weren't overjoyed when I announced that I was going to leave. But after a while they grew to accept the idea, and after initial nervousness on their part, I think they're now happier, and I feel happier. So I think it's worked out well for both parties.
Wasn't Steve Lillywhite kind of an instrumental catalyst in the way that Three developed?
I think Steve and Hugh were really helpful, Hugh Padgham as well, and they gave me their skills. I mean, it's also, I guess, because they were sort of younger generation producers at that point, and they gave me the opportunity to sort of discover and explore myself, but still with enough skill and experience and knowledge to make things sound good and exciting.
Hans plays with Lottie, Lottie plays with Jane, Jane plays with Willie, Willie is happy again. Suki plays with Leo, Sasha plays with Brit. Adolf builds a bonfire,
275 and 285 meters medium wave. This is Radio 1. And my special guest for the evening, Peter Gabriel, has arrived. Hello, Peter.
Hi.
Your new album, Peter Gabriel 4, is out very soon. But you can help me through the tracks as we play a few tonight from the album on the program. The first one is called Shock the Monkey. Now, I understand that an edited version of this is going to be the next single. A single by your own choice?
In fact, no. We had various discussions with the record company. In the end, I came around to this way of thinking, and I would have preferred this as a second single. I was trying to write in a sort of Tamla Motown style, although the end production and arrangement isn't really in that direction. But in terms of lyrics and actual songwriting, that was the sort of feel with which I started. So in some ways, I didn't feel it most represented the album, but I like the song, and well, perhaps if you hear it, you get a feel for what it is.
Lyrically, what were you saying in that track?
I think it's primarily jealousy that's the subject, but there's this play with animals, the fox, rat on the rat, you can ape the ape, and dumb monkey with the monkey, so it's fairly simplistic, playing with words and animals. The wonderful thing performing Biko is that the audience joins in on the chorus and it becomes really anthem-like. And one of the things that's very easy for rock musicians to forget is that our culture largely came from America, Black America, and that music largely came from Black Africa. And that's where we owe our living, really. And so when things happen as they are in South Africa, I think we should have some memory of that.
Just talk about the real reason why. I mean, is it just as simple as that you had such strong feelings for what was going on in that country, that Biko came to the front as being perhaps an idea?
Well, I think it was also this thing that he received quite a lot of media attention when he was arrested, so it seemed very unlikely that the authorities would dare harm him, and clearly that was wrong, so there was a certain shock value, and so I think that was the trigger for me.
And it's an irony, really, that the audience would now call for you to perform that number without perhaps really assessing what the subject material of it is all about.
Except, I get a lot of letters about people that have started reading up about it a little, and soon there'll be the Attenborough film, and maybe that'll do the same for him as the Gandhi film.
September 77
I think I'm right in saying that So has been your biggest selling solo album so far. Do you think it would have been as successful if you'd have called it Peter Gabriel, like the other three?
Well, I would have very happily have called the last album Peter Gabriel to continue the series, but the American record company we got into a dispute with me. I mean, in fact, it was on the album before, to do with titles, and they were arguing because there were different records on different labels that people would be very confused, and I think they were worried about losing sales. And it got to the point where it was, if you want this record released, it has a title on it, and I wanted the record released. So I put a title on it. So it's
compromise.
It's a title, which has a nice shape and very little meaning, and doesn't occupy a lot of space. So I was quite happy with it, but I don't really think that it affected the sales one way or the other.
Radio 2, Peter Gabriel at the BBC.
Sledgehammer, what a massive track that was, both as a musical track and song, and what it did for you.
Yeah, no, it was a fantastic thing, both as I think, I don't know if I've had other number ones, but that was a rare occurrence for me, and the video was, I think, hugely important with that, and I think it's still MTV's sort of most played video, because we had extraordinarily talented people working on it. Stephen Johnson, the director, Aardman Animation, went on to do Wallace and Gromit and all the rest, and then the Quay brothers, who in their sort of slightly East European tinged art films and animation.
Plus your patience of sitting still for hours and hours at a time.
Yeah, it did take best part of a week, and sitting under the fish was all right on day one. On day two, when it had been in the lights all day, that was very different. But it really felt like we were doing something original and good, and we filmed it in Bristol.
You could have a steam train if you just lay down your tracks. You could have an aeroplane flying if you bring your blue sky back. All you do is call me. I'll be anything you need. You could have a Big Dipper going up and down all around the bends. You could have a bumper car bumping. This amusement never ends. I wanna be your sledgehammer. Why don't you call my name? Oh, let me be your sledgehammer. This will be my testimony. Show me round your fruit cage, 'cause I will be your honeybee. Open up your fruit cage, where the fruit is as sweet as can be. I wanna be your sledgehammer. Why don't you call my name? You better call the sledgehammer. Put your mind at rest. I'm gonna be the sledgehammer. This can be my testimony. I'm your sledgehammer. Let there be no doubt about it.
Tony Levin, the bass player,
Yeah.
says that he thought the whole album was finished. They're all packing up, ready to go, and then you say, "Oh, I'll just give a run through this little thing I've got," which was Sledgehammer. Is that right?
It was a groove thing at the time, and I think it was late in the process. And we thought we'd done the body of work, and maybe we'd just give it a whirl. Everyone thinks, oh, they must have known that was the hit. And I mean, it felt fantastic, but we didn't really know what was going to register.
Don't Give Up. Absolutely beautiful track. But were you thinking of it as a country song?
Well, it's a funny thing because the inspiration for the lyrics was in part these amazing black and white photographs from the Great Depression by Dorothy Lang, and so unemployment was part of the theme there, and so there was an Americana element. And in fact, the first person that I had thought about because of that was Dolly Parton before Kate. And Dolly didn't want to do it, although later she asked me to do it with her on a TV show, which I couldn't do then. But, I think in a way, I'm a big Dolly fan, but Kate's vocal is, I think, what really touches people emotionally, that you never really have any inkling when you write something that it's going to touch people. And I think it's the sort of power of her voice there that gives some sort of reassurance to people. And it gets used now in all sorts of places that we had no idea about.
But you were very generous in the lyrics you gave to Kate to sing. But then also, sort of about halfway through, you take a verse, and that really just makes the hairs on your skin stand up, because you get into this falsetto that was just incredible.
Thank you. I mean, I was trying to sing my heart out there.
You did, didn't you?
Yeah, I think I did. And I mean, to me, that's part of what I try and do is touch people. And that's what I like when I listen to music. So you want people to feel something and make the world miserable.
In this proud land we grew up strong. We were wanted all along. I was taught to fight, taught to win. I never thought I could fail. No fight left, or so it seems. I am a man whose dreams have all deserted. I've changed my face, I've changed my name, but no one wants you when you lose.
Don't give up, 'cause you have friends. Don't give up, you're not beaten yet. Don't give up, I know you can make it good.
Though I saw it all around, never thought that I could be a faintant. Thought that we'd be last to go. It is so strange the way things turn. Drove the night toward my home, the place that I was born, on the lakeside. As daylight broke, I saw the earth, the trees had burned down to the ground.
Don't give up, you still have us. gonna be alright. When times get rough, you can't fall back on us. Don't give up. Please don't give up.
Got to walk out of here. I can't take anymore. Gonna stand on that bridge, keep my eyes down below. Whatever may come and whatever may go, that river's flowing. That river's flowing. Moved on to another town. Tried hard to settle down. For every job, so many men no one needs.
Don't give up, 'cause you have friends. Don't give up, you're not the only one. Don't give up, no reason to be ashamed. Don't give up, you still have us. Don't give up now, we're proud of who you are. Don't give up, you know it's never been easy. Don't give up, 'cause I believe there's a place where we belong.
And now I've got Peter Gabriel in here. Now he's a legendary figure.
I do know that, yes.
And he's
It's a pleasure to welcome.
He's a legendary figure, and
Thank you. We're very good tracking.
yeah, you can clap
And it's in
yourself.
time, too.
Almost.
While you're talking, we've got your greatest hits in our cans. That's why we're clapping along to them. You've just come back from South Africa, of
That's
course.
right. We did 46664 campaign for Mandela.
Yeah. He performed in front of 40,000 people at the AIDS charity gala in Cape Town, South Africa. The concert was part of Nelson Mandela's 4664 campaign to mobilise governments to declare AIDS a global emergency. Other performers included Bono, Ms Dynamite, Beyonce, Eurythmics and surviving members of Queen. Do you think that this issue, as a result of these kind of events, will now be taken more seriously by Western governments?
Oh, I think so, because there's two things. One is getting the drugs out there, and the other is getting it on a sort of political agenda, because a lot of people think, well, it's not our kids, it's, you know, we don't actually have to worry about that. We need to, our governments look after our people. But actually, it does impact you in the long run, and it comes back, even if these countries have been decimated, 30% of population in some cases are being wiped out, and that's also future markets for your products.
I mean, you've said a great cause there, and you are into causes. You're founder of Real World, which is a corporation devoted to building bridges between technology and multi-ethnic arts, and you're into various issues, and that's widely known, obviously. Why?
I think if you're given a lot in life and you don't put something back, you feel a little constipated. I mean, once you're on this sort of benefit hit list, a lot of different people think you can be valuable. And I think as long as you get more media attention and money going in the right direction, it doesn't really matter what you think.
It's always been a part of your productive process, hasn't it?
Only, I think, just because I think life has given me an education. I didn't start off that way yet. So I think it's that exposure.
But do you still enjoy having just hit records, just like my records in the top 20?
You want every record you do to be a hit, including some of the things that have absolutely no chance in hell. But, you know, I've never been very good at predicting or getting hits, really. But I think I do make music that I like still. So I've been lucky that it hasn't been dependent on hits. You know, I think for a lot of young bands now,
they have to have them, don't they?
It's hit or die.
Yeah.
Most of them don't.
Although you sometimes do, I would put put to you, sir, that deliberately you make kind of not experimental but eclectic albums. Why don't you design what you do to a more hip, market?
Well, I think you've got to follow your fancy in the end, and I've always felt I just make the stuff that really interests me and then I try and flog it.
Peter Gabriel at the BBC on Radio 2.
Let's start with the basics, Peter. Why did you decide to call the album Us?
You can play around graphically a lot more easily, the less letters you have. And U and S look nice, and it actually suits the record quite well because it's primarily about relationships. I mean, I started off with 23 different things, but what tended to predominate, and I realized should be the focus for the record, was personal stuff. So I ended up leaving out some of the other more sort of social or political bits and pieces.
When you say relationships, do you mean more than just loving or sexual relationships? This is relationships of all forms?
Yes, trees, animals, vegetables. But yes, primarily male, female, and but it was also us as the larger group of things with heads, arms, and legs.
Yes. What is it about relationships then that fascinates you?
Well, I guess it's the one part of my life that is more of a struggle than most. In a sense, I think many of the things that go extremely well for me with sort of work and that area has room for improvement. Let's put it like that. And I came out of a broken marriage, and then went into another intense relationship with Rosanna, and that broke up as well. So this therapy, which I'd actually started in couples group when I was when the marriage went wrong, was something that I did for 5 years, initially as couples group, and then afterwards for 3 years as singles group. And that for me was enormously important, and I think made me look at stuff within me that I didn't particularly want to acknowledge, that there was some anger and aggression in there that I hadn't fully owned. And I think this first video, in fact, has 3 words which grow out of the ground. There's dig, help, and heal. And in many ways, I think that's a good tag for the album as well.
That's the video for Digging in the Dirt.
Digging in the Dirt, right.
Something in me, dark and sticky. All the time it's getting strong. A way of dealing with this feeling can't go on like this too long. This time you've gone too far. This time you've gone too far. This time you've gone too far. I told you, I told you, I told you, I told you. This time you've gone too far. This time you've gone too far. This time you've gone too far. I told you, I told you, I told you, I told you. Don't talk back. Just drive the car. Shut your mouth. I know what you are. Don't say nothing. Keep your hands on the wheel. Don't turn around. This is for real. Digging in the dirt. Stay with me, I need support. I'm digging in the dirt. Find the places I got hurt. Open up the places I got hurt.
This is probably a myth, but you did this very brave thing of standing with your back to the audience and then just launching yourself off.
Yeah,
And the people would then pass you.
that was the theory.
Yeah. And pass you to the back. And very often you go out the back and then go around the theatre and come back in.
Oh, no, I think this is 2 stories in one.
Okay.
Right, I used to get passed around, and what was exciting about it is that the audience knew this was live and they were controlling what was happening, and you didn't get returned back to the stage till they got bored, and the band had to keep playing until you were back on. And sometimes I came back a couple of times with everything having been taken off except my underpants. But the other stories were the ones when I used to do a song from whatever the furthest seat was from the stage. You know, we'd be playing arenas and I would go and sing a song from that seat. And in Germany, we rush around, you know, the numbers started, and I'd go around the back to climb up the stairs and get to the top seat. And the security guys think, you know, what are you doing? And we say, you know, it's a singer. I'm going to sing the number up in here. And the guy said, why are you trying to get in through the front here? This is a ridiculous story. And you just wouldn't have any of it. So we were stuck out there, and once again the band were just left playing for about 7 minutes while I negotiated with the security staff.
I looked up at the tallest building, felt it falling down. I could feel my balance shifting. Everything was moving around. These streets so fixed and solid, shimmering haze, and everything that I relied on disappeared.
Downside up, upside down. Take my weight from the ground. Falling deep in the sky, slipping in the unknown. All the strangers look like family. All the family looks so strange. The only constant I am sure of is this accelerating rate of change. Downside up, upside down. Take my weight off the ground. Falling deep in the sky, slipping in the unknown.
I stand here, watch you spinning until I'm drawn in.
The centripetal force
You
pull me in.
pull me in.
And it's from the music for the Millennium Dome, which is what is
That's right, a show called Over.
Yeah.
And the much-loved Millennium
the
Dome.
much loved, madly, badly maligned Millennium Dome. How did you get involved to do it?
I got a call from Mark Fisher, and he asked me to create a show with him. And one of the things that was interesting from a musical point of view is that we were trying to do ancient Britain with things like hurdy-gurdies and hammered dulcimer and things, and then sort of industrial Britain, and you have the wonderful sound of the brass band, and something which is present day, which would include sort of African, Australian, Asian, or the mix that is modern Britain. I did a song for Babe 2, the one that no one saw. And the reason I did that is because it's a Randy Newman song. And, Randy asked about my doing it, and I'm a huge Randy Newman fan. He's written, I think, some of the best songs around. And even when he's doing something like Toy Story, he still has... the craft of songwriting is something I love, and he's a master. So I was attracted for that reason. And when he first sent over the demo tape, he was going, yeah, and these guys from the Midlands, some brass band, and he was just trying to remember their name, and it was his call to try working with a brass band. So we got Black Dyke Mills band, and we had a lot of string players, and as a result, I was singing with a sort of orchestra and brass band in a studio, which I'd never done before, but really enjoyed the experience, because so often you're doing singing on your own. So it's scary, but exciting.
A kind and steady heart can make a grey sky blue, and a task that seems impossible is quite possible for you. A kind and steady heart is sure to see you through. It may not seem like very much right now, but it'll do. It'll do. When you find yourself in the middle of a storm and you're tired and cold and wet, and you're looking for a place that's cozy and warm, you make it if you never forget. A kind and steady heart can conquer doubt and fear. A little courage goes a long, long way, gets you a little bit further down the road each day. And before you know it, you'll hear someone say, that'll do, babe, that'll do. Kind and steady heart is sure to see you through. A little courage goes a long, long way, gets you a little bit further down the road each day. And before you know it, you'll hear someone say, that'll do. That'll do, that'll do, babe, that'll do.
Let's talk about the music, the True Blood, which is, you have a full orchestra. It makes a heck of a noise.
No, it's amazing. You know, you get used to performing with a small group and some pre-recorded elements, and here's large stage full of wonderful players.
And as with, I have to say, of being of the generation who went out and bought their Genesis albums way, way back, but the move from a very, very big, rich sound down to a kind of almost silence and a piece of vocal music, and then back up again. And it seemed to me that putting an orchestra behind you allowed you to play with that at an even deeper level.
Yeah, the sort of dynamic range I think you get is much richer and fuller. So it's exciting. I think you have to go from those stark moments to the full fleshy ones.
Medicine man, lead me up through town, Indian ground, so far down. Cut up land, each house a bull, kids wearing water wings, drinking cool. Follow dry riverbed, watch scouts and guides make powwow signs. Past Geronimo's disco, Sittingbourne Steakhouse, white men dream. Rattle in the old man's Saxon. Look at mountain top, keep climbing up. Way above is the desert snow, white wind. Hold the line of strength that pulls me through the fear. San Jacinto, hold the line. San Jacinto, poison, bite, and darkness take my sign. I hold the line, and the tears roll down my swollen cheek. think I'm losing it, getting weaker. Hold the line, hold the line. Sun and Jacinto, yellow eagle flies down from the sun, from the sun.
I have to, of course, ask you about the recent BBC spoof documentary series which stars Simon Day, The Life of Rock with Brian Pern, about an ageing rock star whose biography and his discography and his visual appearance is spookily similar to another rock star.
For over 40 years, I've been making and playing music to audiences all over the world. Both as lead singer of Dutch and as a solo artist. I invented world music. I was the first musician to use plasticine in videos. The first musician to record with animals. My last album had the lowest bass line ever recorded.
I was first told about it when it was online in a sort of smaller format. And although there are a great deal of laughs at my expense, it is funny and made me laugh and made my family laugh even louder. I'm quite comfortable living in a sort of semi-known, semi-obscure position in which I inhabit. And so it was a surprise that I was a target for this. But as I said to Reese, maybe he's going to do for me what Ab Fab did for Lynn Franks.
I cry at every Pixar film. I'm an absolute mess. I watch a Pixar film, I'm going to cry to Inside Out, Wall-E, Up as well. What do you like when you watch these films? What do you like when you watch Wall-E?
Yeah, no, I'm just an ad for tissues. It's like, but I'll cry at an advertisement. You know, my family always laugh at me because it's, you know, anything obvious which the heartstrings are being pulled, I'm blubbing away.
Did you think that your feet had been bound by what gravity brings to the ground? Did you feel you were tricked by the future you picked? Well, come on down. All these rules don't apply when you're high in the sky. So come on down, come on down. We're coming down to the ground. There's no better place to go. We got snow upon the mountains, we got rivers down below. We're coming down to the ground. We hear the birds sing in the trees, and the land will be looked after. We send the seeds out in the
On the 2011 album New Blood, he recorded orchestral versions of some of his songs. And last year, he toured a stage show in which he played the whole of his best-selling 1986 album, So, which included the hits Big Time and Sledgehammer. When he came to Front Row earlier, I asked him why return to So.
I initially hadn't wanted to do any retro stuff, and seeing Pet Sounds with Brian Wilson turned me around, because I thought as a fan, to see some of the people that made the original record perform it from top to bottom was a real treat. And that, you know, certainly reached more people than any other record I've done. And coming up to its 30th anniversary, I thought, if I'm going to do that, that seems like a good moment.
And many people have done this in recent years, have taken an album from the back catalogue, performed it in full, and then done another show at the other end of the set. You sort of reverse that process. So in the concert, which you have filmed, you start off almost with the anti-rock show aesthetic when the house lights are still up.
Yeah.
And I didn't recognise the song, playing the piano. And then I didn't realise until afterwards it's a new song. And not only that, but it was unfinished.
It's unfinished, yeah. No, theory is you sort of expose the creative process a little bit.
But also the interesting thing, watching that song that you were doing right at the very beginning, words have always been very important to you. And I was trying to work out what you were singing, and clearly you weren't really singing a lot of the time. You're sort of mumbling and making noises.
Yes, no, my wife said I had to explain that, otherwise I appeared drunk. But I think you have this thing, I think, in the process where when you first come up with something and you settle on it, and then you make these sounds that feel appropriate to it, and then it sort of falls down to earth as you sort of load it up with words
and
then
meaning.
and then you try and chisel it and get it to float again. And for my favorite artists, I know I would love to see the process as much as the final product.
You like the workings out?
Yeah.
On the boulders of the beat, your mind's on the one, on the rain. We are old enough, you're falling down before we come to him. Oh, so I stood upon this land, open falls, you're making sound. Burn the light, burn the light. Oh, so it looks like it's all done. All your fears them all to one. Burn the hair, burn the hair.
Do you find that every day of your life has some musical content? I mean, are you one of those people who creatively, halfway through breakfast, thinks, goodness me, inspiration is coming, and disappears to the music room or whatever?
No, because, well, music tends to overlap. It's awful a lot of the day anyway, but when I go away on a holiday, certainly after about 8-9 days, I'm itching for a piano.
In those dark and distant days when cynical people in the music press used to write what a public schoolboy is doing, playing in rock bands and
Yeah.
being successful, and they are long and distant days, did you feel that life as it's treated you would take the sort of course it's taken? I mean, have things worked out so far, to date, for Peter Gabriel as you wanted them to?
Yes, I think I've been very lucky, and I think most things that I wanted to happen have happened, quite often after when I would have liked, but they've come through, so I shouldn't complain about anything.
I get so lost sometimes. Us and this emptiness fills my heart when I want to run away. I drive off in my car, but whichever I come back to the place you are. All my instincts, they return. The grand facade so soon will burn. Without a noise, without my pride, I reach out from the inside. The light, the heat, I am complete. The resolution of all the fruitless souls. I wanna be that complete. I wanna touch the light, the heat I see in your eyes. the side. So soon we'll burn without a noise, without my pride. I reach out from the inside. The light, the heat, I am complete. The resolution of all the fruitless searches. Oh, I wanna be that. I wanna touch the light, the beat I see in your eyes. Accepting all I've done and said, I want to stand and stare again till there's nothing left out. Oh, it remains there in your eyes. Whatever comes and goes, oh, it's in your eyes. In your eyes. In your eyes. It's in your
This is Radio 2 on BBC Sounds.
And on your smart speaker.
Play BBC Radio 2.